Welcome to my November wrap-up. This is the vlog where I tell you which books I hauled in November, which books I read in November, and which books I want to unhaul now at the end of November. So let's start with the books I got in November, and we start with the digital books. The first book I got in November is Quicksilver by Kelly Hart, the first book in the Fae and Alchemy series. The next one is Mancuffed by Serena Bone and Tanya Eby, the last book in a 4-book series. And I also got 2 digital review copies. The first one is The Rebel Witch by Kristen Sicorelli. The second book in a duology. The first one is The Crimson Moth, that I want to read now in December. So I can't wait to continue right then with The Rebel Witch. And I can't wait to read this whole story. And the second review copy is Death of the Author by Needy Okorafor. I hope I pronounced this right. If not, I'm so sorry. And I had this on my wish list since it was first promoted, and I noticed this book, so I can't wait to read this, really. And the last digital book is an audiobook. It is the second book in the Zodiac Academy series, Ruthless Fae, as a full cast audiobook made by Graphic Audio, and I really love the graphic audio versions. And we can now come to the physical books that I've got. The first one is The Dagger and the Flame by Catherine Doyle. The synopsis really intrigued me, and I got one of the exclusive editions by Waterstones with the sprayed edges. So this is my first haul. The next 2 books I got by the German shop Bücherbüchse, and it is the 3rd book in the Cold Case Academy series, though in English this is the Naturals series, and I can't wait to continue the series. I really enjoyed the first 2 books, and the 4th book will be published in January. And it also has beautiful sprayed edges. And this book, Games Untold, also by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, has also beautiful sprayed edges. And I can't wait to read more in the whole Inheritance Games world. I also have The Grandest Game on my TBR, so I can read The Grandest Game and can continue right away with Games Untold now. And then I got a whole bunch of Brandon Sanderson books, and with a whole bunch I mean the last books in the Stormlight Archive series that are published at this point. The Second Era of Mistborn, 2 of the Secret Projects, so Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, and The Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England. And I got finally my print copy of Warbreaker. I had to order from the UK, from Waterstones, to get the copy I wanted, or the edition I wanted. But I have it now for my print Brandon Sanderson collection. And now I have 1 book left, which is White Nights by Fyodor Dostoevsky, my first English classic. And it's just a tiny short one. And I will read this now in December. So these are all the new books that I got. It is a lot, more than I've read, but let me tell you what I've read. The first book is The Lost Story by Max Sheffer. It was my Thursday Read With Me book, and I already uploaded a Let's Talk About video to this book where I discussed the story. So I don't want to tell you a lot here, except that I liked the story. It was okay, and I gave it 3 stars in the end. The next one is the first book in the Ruthless Boy series by Susan Valenti and Caroline Peckham. It is dark fae, it is bully romance, it is dark fantasy romance, and it is reverse harem. It is very spicy. We don't have much character development at this point, but I'm really intrigued by the crime plot that we have, and I can't wait to read more in December. The next book was a DNF for me. It is Spiderling by Sascha Macht, a German book, and a little bit too experimental for me, so I didn't enjoy reading it and DNF'd it after I think 100 pages. But I really enjoyed and loved the next book. It is 1,000 Broken Pieces by Tilly Cole. A book that hit at the right place, and it is a lifetime highlight for me. A 5-star read. I loved every single page, every single chapter that made me tear up. And it is super heavy, so check the trigger warnings and take them seriously. It deals with grief in a way that I haven't experienced with any other book. So really great representation, but really heavy. Over the Moon is the second book in a duology, and I really loved the first book, but I DNF'd the second one because I didn't vibe with the characters. The book has different characters than the first one, and I didn't vibe with it, so I DNF'd it after the first 2 or 3 chapters. And then we come to a new duology that I started. It is One Dark Window, or the Shepherd King's duology by Rachel Gillick. It was a buddy read, and we all liked the book, so 3 or 4 star read for us. For me it was a 3-star read. It gave the most time more questions than answers, and the characters were really dumb at some points. But I can't wait to read the second book, Two Twisted Crowns, now in December, because we will definitely all continue. And a series I also continued in November was the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. This is Lover and Unbound, the story of Vicious and Jane, and I really liked this one. The characters talked very open about what happened, about their feelings, and I really appreciated that, and I really loved what happened to John in the story and his character development that we got here. And I can't wait to read more of the Black Dagger Brotherhood, which I will do in December. Also another reread there. It is then Fairy Story. And we have Monroe by Cresley Cole. I think it's the 17th book in the Immortals After Dark series. And it was okay in the end. I didn't like Monroe as much as I thought, because he was a real alpha hole. But I definitely want to continue the series, and I'm re-intrigued by the whole story and the main plot of the whole series. I've also read Quicksilver and really loved the book. I have to reread it at some point next year before the second book in the Fae and Alchemy series will be published, because a 24-hour readathon was not the right time to read it, and I think I've missed a lot of information in this book, so reread it is next year. And I also read Man Cave by Serena Bone and Tanya Eby and finished the Boy Toy series. And I really enjoyed it. It was a cute little rom-com and the perfect companion book for 1,000 Broken Pieces. And from these books I also read one, which was Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. I started this book in October and finished it now in November, and I really like the story, not as much as the Mistborn books, but I definitely, as you can see, can't wait to read more of Brandon Sanderson, which I will do now in December with Dress of the Emerald Sea. And after Dress of the Emerald Sea, I will start the first Stormlight Archive book, The Way of Kings, which I got last month. And at this point I have most of the Brandon Sanderson books here. I just miss The Sunlit Man at this point and Wind and Truth. Wind and Truth will be published now in December. And the edition of The Sunlit Man that I want to have will be published in March 2025, so I already pre-ordered that. And I think I have enough books now to enjoy in the future. But before we finish this vlog, I will pack these books to the side, because I also want to unhaul some books from this pile. And let's see, I want to unhaul the 2 books that I DNF'd, and the rest of the books will now go to my shelves. Please tell me in the comments if you are also obsessed with some author and will buy anything by them without reading the synopsis, because I do that often and I hope I'm not alone with it. Like the video, follow my channel if you wanna, and I will see you next time. Bye!